which is Art Hop. Their class assignment is they have to do a pop-up business here, and it has to make at least $1 of profit. And I give them no resources or anything else. They have to figure out how to do it, and they go through it. It's great. I like project-based learning because they have to, they're like, where are we going to get the money to buy stuff to be able to sell it to people? And I go, rob a bank, have a naked car wash. I mean, you know, like, you're the entrepreneur, it's not me. Figure it out. And then they eventually figure out how they need to do it, and generally speaking, it's usually finding other people to sell their stuff and charging them for the space. That's the sort of logical conclusion. So, but they're going through all their contacts with Fresno State art students and people that cook stuff and all of that. So it'll be fun to see how that materializes. But I really like their first instinct. They just saw the space 2 weeks ago, and their first instinct was our next class is going to be a cleanup class. And they showed up last week with spray and mops and brooms and everything else, and they got the whole place cleaned up inside. So I thought that was the first class I ever had that even thought of cleaning. So I was impressed. So May 4th, if you are an art hopper, come down and give some support to some collegiate urban entrepreneurs. So this block is changing very quickly. This has been the slowest, most affected block of the project. There is an old sewer pipe going from Merced to H Street. Well, it goes further than that, but this section was really old, over 100 years old. And so it had to be fixed before they put the street in. And they thought that would be a relatively easy project, and it turned out to be a very complicated project. There were many old PG&E vaults that people didn't know about. So each one they discovered caused more delays, and it really turned into a gigantic project that had to be redesigned and re-permitted, and PG&E had to work on the project along with the city approving the project and along with the contractor designing the project. So that finally got finished, but so that really held things up. When they discovered basements on the south end, the original plan was they'd do the south end where we started, then they'd do the north end where we are now, and then they'd do the middle. But when they started running into basements on the south end, rather than stopping work altogether, they just started working on this very northern end. So it's really spread the construction out on multiple blocks over the last year. That wasn't the original goal, but it was either do that or stop, start, and then the whole project would take twice as long. So the prolonged pain has been better in terms of getting this whole project done more quickly, which is everyone's goal. So, so this block is starting to come together pretty quickly. Last week those parking bays weren't poured, and you're starting to see the curbs on the other side. So this is quite a mess right now, but once they get the basement issue solved, they get through the demolition process. So they've got a basement issue on the other side where they've had to do some work. Once they get through that, then putting the street back together is pretty quick. And then they'll do the fountains and other things. You can start to see the fountain over here on the left, that circle. That's where the sculpture was that was in front of Peeves by the olive tree here. Will be just moved over here. And that's the one where the son is a sculptor, and he's actually restoring his dad's sculptures, which is kind of cool. He's a sculptor in Seattle, so he took his dad's work up there and he's doing the restoration.